Working on loose leash walking with the Mushu. Hacking up something. So the steps walking out your front door is a really good place to start. You want to start off on the right foot. A lot of people, let their dog yank them through the door, and then, the dog is pulling and they expect their dog to just start walking nicely. You really want to start off with the dog paying attention to you, checking in with you, and staying in position. If they can't do that when you first walk out the door, then you've got to just stay there instead of continuing on the walk. You want to wait there until you get some kind of connection, some kind of nice walking, and then we can explore more. So the steps are really useful because it makes each step that you take very clear to the dog, as there's an edge with each step that you take. So it teaches her, it teaches the dog to stop with you. It also helps you get kind of more precise steps when you walk. We've been working on pivoting for a while, and this has really improved her loose leash positioning. It's the beauty of teaching a dog to pivot. They don't have to do it perfectly, but it does improve their loose leash understanding. So here she's leaning as far as she can out to sniff the bush. But our feet are lined up, which is good. Her weight is too far forward, but that's okay. We're standing on steps. It's an awkward position. So what I'm going to do is make sure I reinforce in position, which is with her head up and her weight back a bit more, instead of reinforcing out in front of me. Now we're going on a walkie. We're going to start off with the 300 pecs method, which is where you take one step, the dog takes one step with you, you click and treat. Then you take 2 steps, the dog steps with you, you click and treat. 3 steps, 4 steps, so on and so forth until you get to 300 steps. She's still, her appetite can be spotty. It really depends on how busy outside is, how many cars there are, how many squirrels there are. Like, if there are other animals or children around, she has a really hard time splitting attention. So this is quite an improvement, that she will reliably take food while on leash and walking out front. But she's walking with me, like she's stopping to sniff, which she's allowed to do. If she wants to explore, I will say, go sniff before I, kind of release her to explore, so that she's not, finding just a new way to pull. There we had a car. I'm counter conditioning with the string liver stuff, the Kong liver, which she loves. And then I'm just using Red Barn chicken for treats, the chicken formula. We're going, at a slow pace. I'm not in a rush. I would rather that we walk really slowly and accurately and correctly than we go really far and it's sloppy and we get a lot of distance covered. At this phase, it's really more that it looks like you want it to look, and that we're practicing nice loose leash behavior than it is about energy expenditure for the dog. That comes when they can walk nicely without, trying to run into traffic. So once we start getting nearer to where the cars pass, I lose her for a little bit. Like she kind of stares, she gets really still. I turn around, I kind of prompt her a little, and she comes with me. Not too bad. The liver was running out, and so I heard the car coming, and I start tossing treats to her. But as I'm tossing treats to her, I'm moving away from the cars. Right, so I'm getting distance. I'm tossing treats while running backwards. The tossing of the treat is giving her an alternate thing to chase. So instead of chasing the car, we're going to chase the tossed treats, and then we're just going to go together. Whatever I can do to get her to not just stand and stare at the car. Whatever I can do to keep myself interesting, keep her chasing the food instead, keep her running away from the cars with me is what I want to do. Then we're a little bit out of frame, but we turn around. She's still walking really nicely. She tries to cross behind me right there. When you're walking with her, she should stay on one side. If she's going to cross to the other side, you should be prompting it, luring her in front of you to come to the other side. What we don't want is her crossing to the other side behind you, because that just gets a dog that's darting around from one side to the next behind you all the time. But look at that. That's beautiful. No tension on that leash. Really nice. Very nice walking. Here, another car coming, a big one. Trying to get her to come away. happily without, you know, there being any tension on the leash. Look at that! Oh, look at that setter. What a cool girl, right? So then running backwards some more, tossing. She's like, oh, I love this part. I love the running and the flying things. So it's just a, you know, a running and flying game that involves me and food and not cars and squirrels and other such things. Butterflies, who knows? There you go. Very good. Look at that body language. See, the tail is coming up. She's starting to feel kind of confident in her understanding as well. Really beautiful. Kind of lose her here. She gets a little bit overly focused. I don't want to let this go on for too long. Now, granted, if we're staring at something like a loose dog or, you know, something to that nature, then yes, I will stop. I'll counter condition, but I'm not going to let her just stop and stare for long periods of time, because what she's doing is getting more aroused as the longer she's kind of looking and sighting and practicing being vigilant of the in the environment, the more challenging it will be to get her to walk nicely with you and split attention. So now that we're a certain distance away, notice she does not even care about the cars. So that's really pretty good. We've closed the threshold on that. We've got it to a more reasonable distance. She's still not quite ready for cars passing on the street right next to her. That's too much. That's too close. But this is still really good. This is really, really good. She's finding squeaky toys as we speak. Thank you.